Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Let's talk about what is it that we can do in this new year to give ourselves the upper hand with regards to our health and wellness. 2025 in astrology is the year of Aries, zodiac sign Aries. And you may have noticed that I've been talking about Aries a lot lately. It was me trying to get you ready for this energy that's ahead. Let's talk about what we can do to manage this year in a healthy way. But before we do that, I want to tell you about Aries if you're not familiar. Aries is the first zodiac sign on the zodiac wheel. See, there is wisdom in the design of astrology, just like there's wisdom in any design. I think of the zodiac wheel as a family. We are a human family. We are a human race. And I know it's hard for some of us to see that. And oftentimes it's not until really bad things happen, like COVID, that we come together in our suffering. Because ultimately, on a genetic level, we're not that different from one another. So the things that we all need to feel like we're living a fulfilling human life, they're not that much different from one another. Yes, there's some preferences and variances that we can have, but fundamentally, they're more or less the same. Everyone wants a clean home, comfort. Everyone wants to feel safe. Everyone needs water. Everyone needs work. Everyone needs food. Everyone needs community. All of these things are human things. Now, that can look different for every person, but there is no human that can survive without food and water. So being human is what brings us together. And Aries, as the first human, is a leader and masculine. Let's start with the leadership. In astrology, we have this thing called qualities, meaning how does this thing function? What is this thing's disposition? And the qualities of leaders is that they are action-oriented, they are vision-oriented, and they are people who like to implement their vision. They were sent on earth to push forward an agenda. All of them were coded with an agenda before they came to earth. And that will be Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Leaders are not followers. There's a distinction. Can leaders follow? Absolutely. But leaders are hardwired to set the tone and execute their vision. Aries is the first one of those leaders. In addition, Aries is masculine in its disposition. If you've ever met an Aries woman, you would know what I mean. Because even when that energy is in the body of a feminine person, the energy is the same. It is simply aggressive. Aries is forceful. Aries is brash. Aries is an innovator. Aries is curious. Aries is open-minded. Aries is definitely very driven by the self. Unlike all the others, Aries is the most aware of their selfish needs, which, by the way, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing to be selfish. In fact, that is what I've struggled with all my life, because there's a certain kind of ick that I get from not thinking about others. It just doesn't suit my personality. It makes me feel gross. And I know that this is what I'm here to work on, but I just detest the idea of living my life for me. And that's my Capricorn strong energy. I'm a Capricorn stellium in Western astrology and Capricorn rising in ancient astrology. So very Capricorn dominant because I have it also at my Venus and moon. My heart and the way I process emotion is all Capricorn based. Unlike Aries, who's focused on the self, Capricorn is focused on the community. Are Aries and Capricorn both self-centered? Yes. But the difference is my selfishness is about how can I give more of myself to others. And Aries selfishness is how can I give more to myself? Capricorn understood that the assignment was for them to be a community leader, and Aries understood that the assignment was for them to be their own leader. Cancer understood that their assignment is to honor their emotion and to validate them and to prioritize them. And Libra understood that their assignment was to honor their connections and their relationships. Selfish is a term that is often used in a negative connotation, but I want us to change that this year because 2025 is the year to be selfish. It's the year to focus on yourself and your needs and to prioritize them because the environment is about to brutally shift and go in a direction that is very different from anything we've ever experienced ever before in our entire human history. Remember, this is Aries year during Pluto in Aquarius. Aries and Aquarius are two of the most rebellious energies on Earth because they are simply here to push us into the future. And that's uncomfortable. Humans like comfort. Many of us do. And unfortunately, progress and comfort don't go together. To evolve, we have to be uncomfortable. Being intelligent is about being uncomfortable because intelligent people study, they research, they ask questions, they're curious, they sit with the discomfort of not knowing, they embrace it. And it's in that embrace of the discomfort that they gain more information. So back to health. This year is an opportunity for all of us to rewrite our health story. Health is going to be a huge theme during Pluto in Aquarius. You may have already noticed the conversation starting with Luigi, changes happening with the bird flu. There will be more of these conversations and more of these moments because the purpose of Pluto in Aquarius is to make us smarter. But we're not going to be smarter until we take personal responsibility for ourselves. We're no longer relying on anyone else to take care of us. And that is what 2025 is about. Those of you that are still living in this simulation where you believe that others are going to rescue you are in for a rude awakening because there is no other during Aries and Aquarius season. You are it. It begins and ends with you, meaning what is your responsibility is precisely that, yours. And no one is going to shoulder it for you. One of the things that zodiac sign Aries struggles the most with is emotional regulation. I have this hypothesis that I wish science could help us test. I would like to see science more invested in spirituality because there's so much untapped potential here that as a human race we're simply not using. And that is my hope in this world, that humans get smarter. And being smart isn't just about facts. It's also about gut. It's about both the head and the heart. And the heart is connected to our brain, just like our gut is connected to our brain. It's time for us to get energetically centered, which is what those in the Eastern faith have always known. People who practice Hinduism, which is really the origin of astrology, they've always known that spirituality is connected to being balanced. And if you notice, the heart, brain, and the gut, all of those are at the center of the body, emphasizing the need to be grounded. Aries energy is requiring us to be grounded in our willpower, our truth, to be grounded in our desire to create something new, to be grounded in bravery and courage, to be grounded in our ability to face challenges and overcome them. Because, my dear, how do we become stronger without challenges? It's going to be a rough ride, 2025, and the best thing anyone with Aries in the 6th house can do, or anyone with Aries placements anywhere can do, is learn emotional regulation. I have this theory that Aries people struggle the most with emotional regulation, and I have this theory that at the root of the issue is sensory integration. I believe because Aries is a masculine zodiac sign who is also the very first cardinal zodiac sign, they often do things without thinking.